This is Total Outdoor Programming. Hey everybody, this is Nick from Total Outdoor Programming. We are out here at Marty's beautiful Hillbilly Haven, and what better to do than shoot some guns and blow stuff up. We went out this morning, we got a couple crows, and we actually ate those, and it just really got me wanting to shoot some more. So here in the middle of summertime, there's not a lot you can go shoot at legally, so we got out the old clay pigeon thrower. We're gonna throw some clays in the air, see if we can't have some fun today. As we go along, we'll give you a few tips and tricks to help improve your aim too. Obviously, you want to have your ear protection and your eye protection going on. You want to make sure that your gun's in good working order. Maybe give it a look over, give it a good cleaning, oil it up. And then when you're setting up your thrower and your shooting position, some common sense goes a long way. You don't want to have the person throwing the clay in front of the person shooting, but at the same time, you don't want to have the thrower behind the person shooting, because those clays can come off there pretty wild sometime, and you don't want them coming up and hitting somebody in the back of the head when they're holding a gun.
Now, we get out there in the field with geese, he'll miss every single one. Quick tip, when you're using a thrower, make sure you don't ever stand up in front where it's going to come across, because it can sometimes let loose, swing around, and kill you in the shin and give you a scar for the rest of your life. But only an idiot would do that, so you probably don't have to worry about it. And if anything ever seems funny with the thrower, make sure and have somebody else inspect it, because you don't want to be the one getting hurt.
Another thing that you get to practice a lot when you're skeet shooting that you might not think about when you're in the field is shouldering the gun. If you bring it up and you notice that you're, way off to the left or way off to the right, or if your sight's not lining up with your BB, that's something that you can really practice and get muscle memory into, to where every time you bring it up, those two things line up and that gun barrel is pointing exactly where you want it. Depending on how that pigeon is flying across your shooting range is depending on how you're going to lead it. If it's a straight shot across, you're going to have to come out in front of that pigeon quite a bit and lead it on, and make sure you swing through and follow through as you shoot that pigeon. If it's shooting out away from you and going up, you're going to have to think about the trajectory of that, get your gun barrel in front of where that pigeon's going to be once the shot actually gets there. And it's just the opposite when a clay is coming down. If you wait for it to start coming in, maybe that looks like a landing shot with a duck or a goose, and you're gonna have to just kind of lead that in, and it might take you a few shots to get your perfect lead on something like that. So try each shot a couple times, make sure you switch it up, and just think about where the pigeon is going to be and not where it is. Ever since Marty and I first started going out, Marty's who got me into hunting, and especially waterfowl hunting, he's had this saying that he's always drilling into my head every time we go out, which is butt, belly, beak, bang. And the idea behind that is as you're coming up and swinging your gun across to get on that duck, you really make sure you visualize and you can actually see your gun come across the butt of that animal, the belly, the beak, and then once you get in front of it, and the whole time you're bringing your gun and swinging, once you get in front of that beak, that's when the bang should come. Especially early on, I'd get out and I'd bring my gun up, and I would either just stop moving my gun, or as soon as I would see that bird's head on my bead, I'd pull the trigger and the duck would be gone and I'd be empty-handed. Really make sure you see all those pieces of the animal come across, and once you see the head, know to keep going just a little bit more and shoot and let that bird run into the shot.
He says that he just broke the gun out for the first time. He's been in a club or something, I'll bet you.
I'm just playing duck hunt, man. I got my old Nintendo out. A lot of the times in a real world situation, when I play it back in my head, I realize I had both eyes open the entire time, and it was kind of more of an instinctual type of shooting. And that works for some people, and then some people shoot like you normally would a gun, just have one eye open, your dominant eye, in my case my right eye. In a skeet shooting situation, you know, it's a lot less pressure. So, you know, sometimes I'll try with my dominant eye, sometimes I'll try with my eye open just to see which one works. And for me, it's usually both eyes open. For you, give it a try, see what you come up with.
Oh no, I jinxed him. Did you hear that safety come on? Or come off? Way late.
You want to make sure you know what's on the other side of any tree lines or hills. You want to make sure you're not throwing some lead or steel shot over at somebody's house. That'd be pretty bad. And just keep your head on straight and make sure you're being safe out there, and you'll have a lot of fun.